I need to come up with an introduction like Mark Maron.
What's he do?
Hello.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But...
Hello.
Hey, pig.
I don't know. That's not gonna work. Okay. Insurgent opens this weekend. This is the second in the young adult trilogy. Divergent was the first one last year. It stars Shailene Woodley and Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet, of course, accepting another nice paycheck for probably 2 to 3 days' work, like she did in the last film. It was really, really obvious that she was phoning it in. I am really, really fed up with the young adult adaptations right now, which is really ironic because last year it was all about too many superheroes, right? And Birdman addresses this. Somebody needs to make a movie that's satirical, that makes fun of how many young adult novels we have, because they're all exactly the same. And this one is a really, really horrible offender in that the metaphor of all the different cliques of high school is like spelled out so rigidly and so obviously. So I'm skipping Insurgent. Let me know what you thought of it. Maybe I missed something great. As far as movie news goes, Sharknado 3 will be coming out soon, and the subtitle for it is Oh Hell No. And that's not a joke, that's for real. Here's what I like about Sharknado. It doesn't take itself seriously. Here's what I don't like about Sharknado. Everything else. Sharknado is enigmatic of what is a really big problem these days when films are trying too hard to be B movies and they're trying really hard to be tongue-in-cheek. They don't work, okay? And they don't even work as jokes because we know everyone else is in on the joke and they're manufacturing the entire thing. A true B movie, classic, like The Room or Troll 2, doesn't know it's bad, right? The only time that these kinds of movies are really, really enjoyable are the times when people are trying really hard to make something great, and you can feel that. The other stuff, it's just calculated marketing. It's crap, all right? So enough with Sharknado, please. Moving on, Let the Right One In is a great book. It was adapted into a great Danish thriller many years ago, and that movie was adapted into a great American remake that I never expected to be any good. Now A&E wants to turn it into a TV series. I don't really see what's left, but I'm cautiously optimistic because the idea of the vampires in this film, which was these horrible creatures that kind of have to live away from everything. They're not sexy like Twilight. And I can see how that world with vampires in it could be extended to make an interesting series. And that is a good coming of age type metaphor, unlike Insurgent. Lastly, What We Do in the Shadows is at Liberty Hall this weekend, and this is a vampire movie as well, and thankfully, yes, another original take on vampires. It is a mockumentary. Jermaine Clement, or Clement, depending on how you want to pronounce that, from Flight of the Conchords is in it, and this movie is very short, and it's a nice breath of fresh air because it all takes place basically in this New Zealand mansion, this decrepit old house, and these vampires who live there are not necessarily sexy or cool or even that smart, but I love what they did with this film in the style of the mockumentary. There's actually a lot of really great technique to it and some really subtle humor. It's not an over-the-top slapstick kind of movie. So I really enjoyed it for that. It's at Liberty Hall this weekend, and I definitely recommend people beyond fans of Flight of the Conchords check this out. Again, from a filmic standpoint, it's really interesting what they did with this film and very funny. And now I know what it's like when I watch like mockumentaries or documentaries where they're trying to make somebody look dumb. It's like, hey, that's